So we like challenging every South African. If you're not leaving and you're staying, you've got to roll up your sleeves. You've got to come to the point where you say, this is my home, this is my house, this is my town, this is my province, this is my country.
I'm not leaving this country for anything. Call me whatever, I'll work with you tomorrow.
No, thank you. Yesterday I was wearing a suit. Today I'm wearing my normal suit. This is how I dress. Talking about my dress code, my name is Mabila. So I guess I'm plus happy. I'm a farm boy. I'm a plazin. So I grew up in a farm in a place called Zanin, a beautiful part of the country. So I just want to quickly share, I know today when I talk about why we must stay in South Africa and how to stay in South Africa. And anyone can talk a lot of reasons. I can talk about purpose, to have a sense of purpose, and the best place where you can raise a child, where they can mix, not to be feel excluded. And also if you're a Christian, it's the best place where you can be Christ-like, to act like Christ, because of the differences of this country and diversity, if you want to be Christian. But I won't talk about that. I want to share my story. I'll go straight to my point. Again, I grew up in a place called Zanin. My parents were both farm workers. So I had, most of you, when I grew up, I would use the word boss. My dad used to call them boss, and they were clean bosses. We were my friends. And today, I'm a hot boss to many of you in my company. I had friends where I grew up. I was catching fish everywhere. We went hunting, and it was the best life ever in my primary school. And that's the reason why you see I'm on my court brook, and that's how I grew up. And I lost my friends when I went to high school. Because as a child of farm worker, you expected to work in the farms, right? To feed into the farm and to become a secretary or to become the top black guy to whatever, inspect the oranges and the insects, whatever it is. So I was a bit rebellious because I wanted to become a doctor. And I started walking 40 kilometers to my school every day because all the farms, they're the primary school. And I lost my friends through that spirit. I lost my friends I grew up with in primary school and in the farms. And it was hard because that life for me was all about catching fish, simple life, going hunting, and life I didn't have sense. I started hating Africans. I never liked Africans. I had a choice at school, so I had to choose vernacular, which was at that time was Shangaan. And I had to choose between English and African, and I had Afrikaans. And I told the school, I said, I don't want Afrikaans because I just lost friends. Doesn't make sense. And to cut the story short, I was there, and now I'm mixing with the township guys now. I started playing soccer there at the school. But I was in my court brook. Sometimes I walk with my feet, and they're like, you look stupid. Where are you from? You're really a farm boy. You're plus happy. So I got rejected at primary school by my friends who I lost for high school. Now, when I'm in high school, I lost by my black friends. And that was beautiful. Those both rejections redirected me to who I am today and to be passionate about this country. So I'm like you said, I'm a fighter. I like to go all out there and work hard. And I learned from the Afrikaans culture. You go out there, you rugby, you saw the Springbok. How fast, you can for, and that's what I took. So I took a good in both cultures. And as I'm speaking right now, I go out there, fight, I don't give up. But at the same time, when life is hard, I make sure that I can laugh at my jokes. I use jokes to survive. I'm a loud guy, I like to joke. But I took both good in both cultures, and that's who I am today. You can call me colored if you want me colored. But I took the good. And then I went to university. I made new friends. And the first one I played soccer there, his name was Nick Berenkamp. He's an Afrikaner from Sandton. So I was in the University of Cape Town. And he's the one changed my life. He was my best friend. And I saw different Afrikaner from the one I know when I grew up. He was our goalkeeper. And that I want to encourage many of you today, be like Nick. He didn't know where I was from. He came to my house, he saw the farm compound where I stayed, and he didn't believe why I met UCT. And he looked at me as a friend. And he was he's got my back. I was a defender, and he was always my keeper for soccer. And we became best friends. And then from there, I made new friends. And then I became fall in love again with my childhood of I grew up. And because I had friends, Skalk van Heerden, he's not here, Nick Bredenkamp. But out of that, today, I got passionate to go back to be involved in AmaVerkykers because it was one of the architects behind what happened in the past in our country and the pain caused to black and white. I was talking to the guys last night. My dad goes to the other church. I can't remember, I always forget the name. But there's here, there's the one where you wear your ties, you're very strict, very formal. Alfarm, thank you. My dad goes there, I don't know why, but he's a farm worker, he's got friends there in the city, he's still going there every time, but now it's in Christmas. But I'm passionate to say, listen, let's not leave the country. You were behind this before. Let's work together for the best of this country. So one of the stuff I got involved with is Betereinders, where I'm involved. I'm one of the directors. I'm just there to make sure they don't go offline, all those whiteys. But the reason why I'm also passionate to work with them is that I'm running an organization called Youthzones. We've got over 60,000 youth members across the country. I work in the environment where I grew up, the poor of the poorest. That's what I'm passionate about. If you follow my social media every day, I'm in the squatter camps, I'm in the village. And my biggest passion is, and I'm sorry to say it, South Africa doesn't have a problem with unemployment. It's got the biggest problem for unemployability. And I'm standing here in front of you. The problem that today we're struggling is the unemployability part. And we're passionate about that. And we use sports, we use art as an entry point across the country. We do what they like, netball, and then just to build friendships. We work a lot of relationships in these places. So I'm not a charity, we're not a typical handout. I don't do charity. I don't like the word charity, I don't like the word help amongst the poor people because it's killing Africa. Never help poor people, people don't need your help. And I'm saying it again, poor people don't need your help. They can help themselves, support and what they like. Be a tail of the dog, right? If the dog is happy, it's full, and then what happens to the tail? It works, right? So don't be a body of the dog, be the tail, right? And most of us want to be the body, and we want the poor to be the tail. We're full, and they must be happy for us. No, let's be the other way around. And that's our passion. So we go out there, we support the poor of the poorest in what they love. We give them freedom to choose what they value, not what you value for your business, for you. So South Africa, that's what we're behind. So we're very decolonized way of doing development. We give them freedom. We don't control them. We don't put them in one place. I know it's difficult. There's accountability, there's money, there's funding, there's donors, there's timelines. But we make sure as much as you want to make a difference, as much as you want to go out there and change the poor, you also need to change how you do it. And that's how we roll. And we started with 9 sites across the country, and now we're on 53 sites, including Massengier, where I'm also the head of anti-poaching for the rhino. I don't use the gun, I don't shoot at them, but we create alternatives for them so they can have choice in their lives, because most of them are trapped in the park, they got nowhere to go, they can only walk. I know most of us, we put the animal first and put them after, but if you put them first, I know it's a sensitive topic, it's one of the examples I'm giving you and provoke you. If you put the people first, they will look after the animals. And that's how simple it is. Same as the mining environment where we work, where we reset relationships. Put the people first. They will look after the assets. I had the biggest fight with one of the departments of our government, and you can't put a pie in front of them when they're hungry. They'll come and eat it, whatever it is. So put the people first. So there's a lot of programs we invest amongst the poor of the poorest, and we'll listen to them. The biggest thing is when you have money, when you have power, most of us, the mistakes we do, we don't listen. And the so-called the disadvantage, they're not stupid, they are actually smart. So Youthzones will try to cover those aspects where we listen to the poor, we give them freedom to choose what they value. And I can tell you, we use sports as an entry point. we go to the mind where we empower them with IT, connectivity, a lot of data, because we're talking about 60,000 youth. And we incentivize, again, I don't hand out data 1 gig a month. We incentivize if you do good, you blog, you help your fellow members with homework clubs, we incentivize you. And the IT is only, poverty for me is when you're isolated, when you're disconnected to the rest of the world. So we're trying to connect the poor of the poorest to the rest of the world, and then they connect amongst each other. And that connectivity, it breaks that isolation. And that's where you break poverty. And that's the second step. And then once you go, the first step, sorry, I'm cutting everywhere now, but the first step is life skills. I'm passionate about life skills. Many of you, when you're 4-year-old, your kids, your sons and daughters, you teach them how to save money. Even today, I'm still struggling with money. I get broke because I keep giving. I don't know how to save. We're not taught. You got someone driving a BMW in my age, and they throw a KFC bag outside, and you get angry. But you don't understand that those things were not taught from childhood. So we're passionate about life skills. So you got your sports, your IT for connectivity to the rest of the world, and your life skills. If you look at those things, your sport is just for social cohesion, where we build trust and relationship, but also to help the people, the beneficiaries, in terms of how to work in a team environment. And then the biggest one is the mind with IT, obvious. And then the one I'm passionate about is the heart, the life skills. If you look at those 3 things, that person is employable. He knows how to work in a team, is very informed, and has got good heart. And that's every member of Youthzones, all those 60,000, they must go through those steps. No one just jump and do. And I can tell you, out of that, they can easily become self-employed. We've got over 430 small businesses owned by them, not us, but we support them, we incentivize them around the country. From the Amaskral, we got, I can see Aaron's is here at the back there. We got a recycle project where we get, it's called Matlakala Mabuti, where we get, Matlakala Mabuti is a petty word, means beautiful rubbish. Yeah. And I came with the concept in 2015 that it's figuratively in a way, because their lives was also like that. It can be rubbish, say in the shacks, but you can turn the rubbish into beauty. So they use those dirty clothes, they make bags, they just made 650 blankets, which help some of the sites in Camel Drift. And they can do anything from those recycled material or dirty clothes. And we got Matakalamabuzi, we got farming in Brandflay farmers. We got internet cafes. We got about over 60 internet cafes around the country in the poorest of the poorest areas. So we got gym in Camel Drift. We got Nkosi in Cape Town. We got taxis. These are the guys who were just hopeless, roaming around the street. But they went through the journey of sports, IT, and then life skills. And today, those four, I can mention many. To crashes, to here's somewhere. So that's self-employment, that's entrepreneurship, right? And then you got some, they work to we got partners where they get employed to a company like Bidvest Protectcoin has taken about 3,000 of them already in the last 4 years. Vericon, I can mention many, but AgriJob. So, and we got, some went to, 4 of our guys went to Namibia, where they worked in Namibia. It was a very beautiful story. They were just normal guys. They had a project where they were doing, it was more of a home affairs. So they wanted to introduce the card system in Namibia. And they wanted the guys who can charm people on the ground and get data. So they became a small consultants and for laptops. And those boys, they were getting about 70,000, 80,000 a month, tax-free. And then some of them bought cars. And when they came back, they were 4 of them. But they, FIFA at that time, struggled. Because some of them, they had to deploy, they have to retrench. And our guys stayed there for 3 years. And they were the best performers, like kids from Steelport, from Rustenburg, from Jefferson and Popo, and they were just best. But again, it's when you take time and invest. It takes time to change. We invest in them, we listen to them, we follow their dreams. And then the others go to university. We got Dr. Asama Serrano, just came from Cuba. We got Sibongi Sen from Muzumkulu, is the actuary. I can mention many. Some they go to university, some they link to corporate. Some corporates, they say, no, we want to adopt this site. It helps us because it takes a burden from me because I have to incentivize stipends. Some of them, the local coaches, with over 225 of them on the ground. So when you come and partner, say, I want to be part of this. And then it helps us to take a burden from us. And then that's your there's employment. The last passion I'm passionate about is Youthzones is a legacy, a network legacy. So it's the poor of the poorest doing things for themselves by themselves. The poor of the poorest doing things for themselves. So it means when you come, you're supporting what they do. And we got a beautiful stories they share amongst themselves. Vuyo from Umlazima share, Vusi from Mbalenke Sekunda, the stories in the similar environment they share. And that already is a sustainability. It's run by someone who's in the same context, who grew up like them, and that is sustainable itself. So we can be in a year where we don't have money enough. It's not about funding, but we're already doing things for ourselves. We're empowering ourselves, and we're making. We don't want charity, and that's Youthzone part. And I just want to say, out of that, my passion, and that's why I joined Betereinders, is to change the narrative about the country. The places where you're scared they're going to hijack you, they're going to steal, is what you see on mainstream. But I can tell you, I got friends who've been there, they left their MacBooks in Mzumkulu. I had friends who left their stuff in some of the Sheikh Land Park, and they got it back. It's for one reason. We got 3 values. And I wish many of us can do it. In Youthzones, if you want to join us, you don't do handout. You don't come as a hero. You don't come as a savior. They don't want you to save them. You build relationship. You look at them as a friend. You're not coming to help you. They're not going to use your towel in your room. They don't want. Many of us, we got the perception that when we go to poor areas, they're going to take a lot from us. And it's the other way around. We're taking a lot from there. We can learn how to survive. And we gain a lot. So that's the first thing. So we do things for relationships, friendships. You don't give out anything. From there, the second step is organic, step by step. So start small, a cell phone or a soccer ball, give them. So you come back 2 weeks, you come back, you build a relationship. You come 2 weeks, you give them 3 balls or 4 balls, and you grow. That's how you become friends, right? You learn each other. And then the last step is holistic. We don't look at the human being as a brick, as a building. A human being is complicated. Some of the kids are the young parents, because they're late, or they we don't come and say, I want to teach you computers, I want to teach you life. No, I look at it as a human being, not as an object. So those 3 values make the miracle of Youthzones, that we have over 3,000 laptops and cell phones around the country. We have incentivized. None of them has been broken or stolen. Some years they broke, but we fixed them, but none of them has been stolen. That's our legacy. And in the places, so for me, again, let's become friends. And that's what I'm passionate about today. I'm standing in front of you, that I'm standing for my friends in those poor areas. But let's be friends. Go braai. Know the person better. All right. So I'm inviting you to go and act. It's easy to talk. I hope what I said today and tomorrow, we can be together for the best of South Africa. Thank you.